Today we're going to be learning about warm and cool colors in this sun and moon project. So before we get started and learn about our warm and cool colors, there's a few materials that we're going to need. So after I list the materials, if you want to pause the video, gather those materials, then we'll get started. So what we're going to need today is we are going to need a pencil with an eraser, a Sharpie or a black marker. We're going to need warm colors, so yellows, reds, and oranges. And we're going to need cool colors, so blues, purples, and greens. We're also going to be needing something to trace with. I'm just using this roll of tape. You can use a bowl, a plate, whatever you can find that's round and that you can trace. We'll also be needing a piece of paper or sketchbook paper. I'm just using white copy paper. You can have paper that's bigger or smaller, whatever materials you have available to you. And if you don't have colored pencils, markers, crayons, and paints work just as well. So if you want to pause this video, gather those materials, then we'll get started. To begin, we're going to take our tracer. So I'm using a roll of tape. You can use a bowl, plate, whatever you have available, and I'm going to set it in the center of my paper. I'm going to hold it down, and then taking my pencil, I'm going to trace the outside. So I'm going to trace the outside of my sun, make sure that I traced it okay. Once I have it, I can trace it again with my Sharpie marker, just to make sure that I got the nice shape. So once I have my shape drawn, so I have my circle drawn, I'm going to erase those extra lines. So I have a nice clean paper. Then I'm going to take my pencil, and somewhere on the top section, I'm going to start by making a C or my moon shape. As you can see here, I started pretty close to the center, and I made a little C on the inside of my circle. So I'm going to start at the top. I'm going to make a C following the outside curve. Once I have that C, so you see I can come right down. I'm going to erase a spot. It can be anywhere on your moon. So this section is going to be our moon, and this section is going to be our sun. I'm going to erase a spot towards the middle, and I'm going to make a nose. So to make a nose, you're kind of making a little V or an L shape. So you're going to put your pencil where the end is, bring it out, and then bring it back down to the other side to create a nose. Then we're going to take our Sharpie, and we're just going to trace that new line that we made. So I'm going to do the circle, and then do my nose, and connect all the way to the bottom. Again, if you have any pencil marks, we want to make sure we erase those so we have a nice clean paper. So I'm going to erase those marks. Then next I'm going to take my pencil, and I'm going to make my eye on my moon. So we're going to give him a little closed eye. If you want to do it open, you can wait and see how we do the open eye on the sun. But I'm just going to give him a closed eye. So I'm going to do a half circle or a little C shape for the eye. To do the eye for the sun, if you want to do, or an open eye for the moon, what you're going to do is you're going to do the same shape, but we're going to do it the other way. So I'm going to take and make a C or a curved shape that goes up, just like this. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take just a little bit on the inside here. So make little markers, and I'm going to make a half circle inside of this C shape. just like this. So I went up and I made my C shape, and then leaving a little space from the end, I came in and made another like a U shape or a C shape on the inside of my eye. I'm going to trace this with Sharpie so you can see it a little bit better. So I've traced it up, and then I'm going to do the same thing underneath. So I'm going to start on this outside edge right here, and I'm going to make a curved line just underneath of those. And then on the inside of this circle right here, you can make a little dot, color it in with your Sharpie. And then if you want to, you can also add an eyelid. So you can start at the corner of your eye, and you're just gonna follow that line right above. You can make it as big or as small as you want, or you don't have to add one at all. I traced this with Sharpie, but if you did it with pencil, if you want to go back and trace it with a Sharpie so you get a nice outline. Again, erase all of the extra pencil line. Then, once we have the eye, we're going to give it a little bit of an eyebrow. You can give an eyebrow to your moon. I'm not going to give an eyebrow to my moon, but you can give an eyebrow to your sun and your moon. So you're just going to make a little C shape again. And you can leave it open, or you can close it like this one. So on this one, I left it open so I could color inside. But maybe on this one, I'm just gonna give him a black eyebrow, so a little skinny eyebrow. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna move down and create the mouth. So for the mouth, as you can see here, it creates one big mouth, but it looks like the moon has a mouth and the sun has a mouth. So to do this, we're going to create just a simple smile. So I'm gonna make a arc shape. It's gonna start in the sun, I'm gonna bring it all the way to the moon and stop. I'm gonna give the sun a little bit more of the smile than I do the moon. So as you see, just a little arc shape going over in both sections. Then what I'm gonna do is right above that smile, I'm gonna put my pencil or my Sharpie right on the moon, on that line where we created the moon. So that line that went down the middle, I'm going to make a little V right above that. Then I'm gonna take and connect those two ends to my first smile that I made. So I'm gonna start at the V at the end, and I'm gonna move it over. Start at the V and move it over and connect to the end. So we get the top of the lip. Then we're gonna make another smiley face shape connecting to the middle one. So I'm gonna come down and over and make those connect. Again, if you did it in pencil, you wanna trace that in Sharpie. And you can also make it, you can leave it like this, or you can make it a little bit fancier and add little lines at the end. And also, like, maybe you wanna do some circles. Maybe you want to do a little swirl. It's up to you. So you can get it fancy, or you can leave it plain. Then what we're going to do is on the sun side, we're going to add some triangles. So we're going to add different triangles. So they could be different sizes or different heights, or they could be all the same. And these are going to be the rays of the sun. So you're going to add these all the way around our sun, just until we make that connection. Then what you're going to do is at that point where our sun and our moon meet, we're going to make a curvy line to the edge of our paper. So I'm going to make a curvy line to the edge of my paper. You can make it go straight up and straight down. You can give it a little curve, or you can just make it straight. It is up to you. Then after we have it all outlined in Sharpie marker, what we're going to do are add some decorations to the background. So I added some stars, some circles, a few planets on the moon side, and then I also added some extra rays on the sun side. So you can add whatever you would like to either side. But then once you have everything outlined in Sharpie and drawn, we're going to be doing our warm and cool colors. So warm colors are all our bright colors such as yellow, orange, and red. So they give a warm feeling. So if you want to think of the outside in the sunshine, so our sun, we have warm colors. So on this side, we're going to be using only our warm colors. So yellow, reds, oranges. And on our moon side, we're going to be using cool colors. These are blues, greens, and purples. So these are at nighttime, are a cool kind of feeling. So like a pool, nice and cool. So these are our blues, purples, and greens. So we're going to be using that on our moon side. So when you color, just keep that in mind. So using warm colors on the sun side and cool colors on our moon side. And that's everything that we have today. I hope you enjoy making your sun and moon projects.